Yo, imagine a snake that could literally yeet a whole T-Rex. You buying that? That's Titanoboa for you, man. The name alone goes hard AF. You know those massive anacondas and pythons that pop up on your FYP sometimes? Nah, fam, they're literally just confused noodles next to Titanoboa. This absolute unit lived during the Paleocene epoch, vibing in what's now South America's rainforest areas, and it's literally the goat of snakes in Earth's history, no cap. When scientists first found this thing's skull fossil, they were like, ain't no way this is a snake, bro. That's how absolutely unhinged the size and shape were. Titanoboa's estimated stats, we're talking 14.3 meters of pure nightmare fuel. Head alone was a whole 60 centimeters. And the thickest part, 1 meter diameter. Let that sink in. Picture this, that chonker could probably give an elephant the forbidden hug and call it a day. We're talking a real-life boss battle, legendary tier snake energy. But, what if this bad boy was still slithering around today? NGL humanity would be having a very bad time. Beach days, canceled, nature documentaries, RIP to those camera crews. We'd be living that dystopian drone surveillance life for real. But let's be real, humans gonna do what humans do best. One snakeskin equals dozens of Birkin bags, literally enough leather to start your own Gucci knockoff empire. We probably would have domesticated these danger noodles ASAP. Safari tours be like, and here we have humanity's biggest pet snake. Please keep your hands inside the vehicle.
Humans only care if it's giving yummy or not yummy vibes.
Man, what's the move if a 3-meter scorpion pulls up while you're having your hot girl swim? This ain't some creepypasta BS. We're talking about a legit sea monster that had the ocean in a chokehold. Allow me to introduce Earth's most goated aquatic arthropod, the Devonian period's sea scorpion. And yes, it's exactly as terrifying as it sounds. This scorpion, certified menace to society. We're looking at 2.6 meters of pure nope, and some of these bad boys hit 3 meters. 3 meters. That's like 2 NBA players laying down, and this thing still wins. But size isn't even the scariest part, fam. This sea scorpion was built different. Literally optimized for aquatic violence, swimming game, elite, speed, unmatched, defense, impeccable, hunting style, absolutely feral. Everything about it screams water-exclusive DLC character, and I'm shook. Scientists say this thing couldn't even walk on land properly, so forget your typical creepy, crawly, from under the bed, nightmare fuel. This was straight up an ancient murder machine that chose the ocean as its domain. But here's where it gets real spooky. What if these things are still chilling in the Mariana Trench? That's literally Earth's basement where humans haven't even checked the corners yet. Imagine a 3-meter scorpion just vibing down there, and one day it decides to do a little main character moment. That's when Netflix gets their next documentary series, no cap. They say it's extinct, but nature's always been on that you don't know me like that energy. 3-meter sea scorpion shows up. That's when you realize you're the side character in ITS story.
Ooh, 3-meter lobster looking like a whole snack. For real, nom-nom. Chef's kiss.
Picture this, you're getting your dinosaur era hydration on and bam, underwater in 3 seconds flat. Today's Crocs already have us shook, right? Open that jaw and it's giving adult human torso energy. Plus they're basically aquatic ninjas. But what if I told you there was a Croc that makes today's look like baby geckos? Meet Dinosuchus, everyone. The name literally means terrible crocodile, and man, it understood the assignment. This bad boy lived in the late Cretaceous period, ruling what's now North America. And I'm not exaggerating when I say it was literally the croc that ate dinosaurs. You know how people lose their minds over saltwater crocs today? Dinosuchus said, hold my prehistoric beer. It was bigger and heavier. Body length, up to 12 meters of pure chaos. Weight, 6 tons of absolutely not. With that build, even T-Rex and Triceratops had to check their surroundings before taking a sip. Media loves showing Dinosuchus going absolutely feral on dinosaurs, dragging T-Rex to the water's edge, jumping Triceratops like it's nothing. Okay, so technically, T-Rex and Dinosuchus didn't vibe in the exact same time period. But, and this is where it gets spicy, they found Dinosuchus tooth marks on T-Rex relative fossils. Translation, this absolute unit being a dinosaur predator wasn't just fan fiction, it was canon. So you know how we see Crocs today and go, damn, that's big. That's just the free trial version. If this thing was still around, swamp tours, canceled, diving, in your dreams, river swimming. That's movie protagonist behavior, and we all know how that ends. And the most bone-chilling part, this absolute nightmare fuel actually existed on our planet, for real.
Looking at that massive croc, definitely not getting any let's keep it as a pet vibes whatsoever.
What if I told you frogs used to eat dinosaurs? Would you believe me? This isn't even cap. This is about an actual gigachad frog from the dinosaur era. This Cretaceous period beast was so extra that people literally call it the frog from hell, or devil toad. Scientific name, Beelzebufo. Estimated body length hits 40 centimeters max. That's bigger than Earth's current heavyweight champ, the Goliath frog. Let that sink in. But it's not just the size that's giving horror movie vibes. Beelzebufo supposedly hunted in a completely different way from other frogs. You know how normal frogs do that cute tongue flick thing to catch flies? Yeah, this one said, nah, I'm different. Quietly approach the prey, then chomp in one swift motion. Jaw strength absolutely cracked. Given the environment back then, baby dinosaurs and reptiles were probably on the menu. So this wasn't just a big frog. This was a predator that could threaten actual dinosaurs. If this thing came back to life today, you'd go, aw, cute, and reach out to pet it, then RIP to your fingers. Dog-sized frogs wilding out. The mental image alone is giving me anxiety. Nature's monsters are always smaller than you think and way, way stronger.
I'm more shook that frogs have been around for 180 million years.
Did you see that article about the dire wolf that got resurrected after being extinct for 10,000 years? April 2025, Colossal Biosciences dropped a bombshell announcement that had everyone shook. They said they recreated dire wolves based on DNA. Dire wolves were these absolute units that lived until the end of the Ice Age 10,000 years ago, way bigger than today's wolves with insane jaw power, build, and hunting skills that earned them the title Kings of Ancient North America. So when this news dropped, people went feral. Are we getting mammoths, saber-tooths, even dinosaurs next? Is this real-life Jurassic Park era? The hype was unreal, but plot twist, the tea was different. What they actually made wasn't a real dire wolf, but a Game of Thrones-style white-furred dire wolf recreation. Real dire wolves probably never had white fur, and they didn't do a complete DNA restoration either. They basically took modern wolf genes and tweaked them to look like a dire wolf. So technically they didn't resurrect a dire wolf, they created a new creature that looks like a dire wolf. Still, even though it's not a real dire wolf, the fact that they made a legendary creature from movies IRL, that's insane. Yeah, it's kind of mid that it's not the actual dire wolf, but if this tech keeps leveling up, we might actually see extinct animals make a comeback. Today, it's a movie wolf with white fur, but tomorrow, actual 10,000-year-old life might return, no cap.
Looks like a country dog, NGL kawaii.
This turtle wouldn't have lost to the rabbit. The dinosaurs would have ran. This hits different from any turtle you've ever seen. One look and you don't see an animal, you see a legendary creature giving major black tortoise energy. This absolute unit is called Archelon, late Cretaceous period, living in what's now North American seas, the final boss of ancient sea turtles. The name Archelon literally means ruling turtle. Name already screams turtle royalty. Body length, up to 4.6 meters. Weight, a whopping 3.2 tons. Literally the biggest turtle to ever exist on Earth. Just imagine that shell pressing down from above. Instant, yeah, this is a one turtle bunker vibes. But even Archelon wasn't the ocean's main character, because those waters were packed with 10+ meter sea monsters, marine reptiles like Mosasaurus, prehistoric megasharks. Even Archelon was on the menu for these guys. So this wasn't an attack-type monster, but a legit survival mode shield boss. Just hiding somewhere like, let's just survive another day, fam. But size-wise, absolutely bonkers. If one of these washed up on a beach today, people would swarm like, this is a divine creature. The legends have returned. That level of impressive. If Archelon came back today, that size and shell alone would shake up the whole marine ecosystem. And one thing's for sure, beach warning signs would say, caution, giant turtle zone.
That's definitely Dragon King's messenger material right there.
Imagine a 2.6 meter bug with 88 legs just chilling in your room. This ain't just imagination. This is about Earth's biggest land invertebrate that actually existed. FR, ladies and gentlemen, meet Arthropleura. Basically, a 2.6 meter millipede on steroids, calling this thing the ancestor of today's tiny, crunchy millipedes. That's wild, too massive, too cursed looking, body made of dozens of segments. 44 pairs of legs, that's 88 legs, man, supporting this absolute unit as it crawled around. Now picture that tank moving through the forest, literally an insect military vehicle rolling through, but like Why was it so, Thak? Back in the Carboniferous period when this beast lived, about 300 million years ago, Earth was different, way warmer, way more humid, and most importantly, oxygen levels were insane. We're talking 30% plus oxygen in the atmosphere, way more than today, which meant bugs that breathed through their skin could get huge. That's how this 2.6 meter nightmare fuel could vibe in giant fern forests. Good news though, it was herbivore gang, just munching on fallen leaves and rotting plants. But honestly, when it's 2.6 meters, does the diet even matter? That thing crawling in your room means instant KO. If this came back today, I promise you, screaming at cockroaches was just the tutorial level.
If I met this IRL, I'd literally have a heart attack.
A 28-meter fish existing on Earth, make it make sense. Allow me to introduce Leadsichthys, possibly the largest bony fish in Earth's history. Some theories say this bad boy could have been 28 meters long. For reference, the biggest fish we know today, the whale shark, max 15 meters. So we're talking almost double that size. Translation: people who see whale sharks and go, OMG, so big, would see Leadsichthys and be like, that's not a fish, that's a sea monster. Only one fish in history was bigger, Megalodon, a cartilaginous fish. Leadsichthys was a bony fish, like today's tuna or cod, but the final boss version. This absolute unit fed on plankton and small fish, eating style, like basking sharks or blue whales, just opening that massive mouth and vacuum sucking water and food. To maintain that body, we're talking tons of water sucked in daily. And get this, each pectoral fin was over 1 meter. Imagine it flapping those bad boys while cruising the ocean. Even CGI artists would be like, nah, that's too much. The sad part? Not many fossils survived, so the exact look and size are still being debated. We're talking fin fragments, jaw bones, a few dorsal fin pieces, that's it. Some people be like, 28 meters sound sus, but experts agree, a fish that size definitely swam in our oceans, period. If Leadsichthys was alive today, beaches, closed, ocean tours, all switched to drone surveillance, no cap.
All these giant animals, but the blue whale still being the largest animal ever, suddenly hits different.
The fact that these massive creatures once walked the same Earth as us, can you even believe it?